Shalom, when I self soul by giving no praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakadash. Double honors, the apostle, great, most honor, and honest, you brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh's raw name, of whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, or Yahweh. His raw name is Yahweh. The son's true name is Yahweh Shai. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahushua, Ba meaning in, Ha meaning that, and Sham meaning names, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Real quick, this is inspired by this video by Apostle Tahar. I was just listening to it on my walk, and then when there's that joke that it said, but you walk and you just hear like the disc scratch, like screech, like what? Wait, what? And then it was around about this point, and it was a precept that came to mind, which was Matthew 22:29, which we're going to start off with, right? And so let me play it.
Unless what they taught us today, and that was the change from whatever they was teaching then, and now, and what they're teaching us now was the sellout. Numbers 1:18, seed of the father.
Right. You can sleep with any woman and the baby will be an Israelite.
Exactly. Maybe that's what the change is, because you.
Excuse me. That's correct. You can sleep with any woman. If you're an Israelite man, you put your seed in any nation's woman of another nation, that child's going to come out an Israelite.
Think about it. This shit is crazy. This is destroying the people. You can beat your wife. You can have a sex with a girl when she get her flower.
Right.
You can rape. All these different doctrines, maybe these are the doctrines that they sold out to teach.
Well, Quash did said he said they was teaching it.
Yeah, so you heard it, right? You heard it, and once again, this is why the scriptures say this, right? This is Matthew 22:29, and when you read into this is the Sadducees basically trying to trip Yahushua up. Right, and then Yahushua just gives them the tools. Like, look, man, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, right? And this is it. Like, to someone that was unlearned, right? What the Sadducees was asking may have sounded like a deep question, but Yahushua was like, bro, like, what you chatting about? This is Matthew 22:29. Yahushua answered and said unto them, ye do err, not knowing the scriptures nor the power of the Most High. Okay, so just in the same vein, you may have someone that's listening to that individual speaking, and they're like, oh, that sounds deep. It's like, oh my god, they teach that, whatever, what have you. But when you understand the scriptures, you understand one thing, for instance, that this is a different world, right? Scriptures say, in fact, let me grab it, right? This is 1 Corinthians 6:12, right? All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any, right? And I'll read it 10:23 as well. It says, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient, right? All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. So, there are certain things in this world that just, we can't do, right? There's a law. If you've got a disobedient son, right, you gotta after a certain age, he's still being an asshole, and you gotta take him out, bring him before the judges, right? The judges hear the matter, judges are like, okay, well, fair enough, put him to death. Same thing with those alphabet people, all right? Ancient Israel, you catch one of them, they were taken out. But you do that now, that's a hate crime, man. They're gonna throw you under the jail, okay? Right? Same thing with what you call it, dealing with women now, according to our laws, which we're gonna touch on that as well, and our customs, right? If once a woman had her period, then it was she could be married off, and the man can do what he decided to do, okay? Right? But you don't be doing that in this world, right? Don't be doing that in this world, okay? Right? They'll build a new cell under the jail, right? Under the jail, they'll you don't be doing that shit now, man. right? As we read, all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. Okay, so then speaking about Numbers 118, and whenever I hear these people talk, saying, oh, you can only deal with the Israelite woman, it's like, well, don't you want some variety? Yeah, you got some variety in the tribes. Yeah, you do. But certain times you may see up on an Ishmaelite woman, you be like, oh damn, she look good. Hey, Elam, hey, you got some Elamite strongholds out here in the UK, right? And you be around them, or you be seeing some dainty ass Elamite women, man. Me, it's no secret, I like my Moabite things, right? You see some of them, like, oh shit, she look good, right? So it's like, bro, like, what, like, you ain't gonna hit a heathen heathen woman, man. But these times Esau's been dealing with the Israelite woman, right? And in the kingdom, you think we ain't gonna be dealing with Edomite women? We be dealing with Edomite women now, man. Hey, King Solomon did it, right? It says Numbers 118, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upwards by their polls, right? But the key there that I wanted is by the house of their fathers, because in this world you got this concept of being, quote, mixed race, right? Being I'm half Italian and a quarter Japanese and an eighth Cambodian and another eighth Somalian. Like, even just as I'm making that joke, it's confusion, right? It's confusion. Whereas when you just say, oh, my father is an Israelite, that's simple, right? Doesn't matter how you look, right? The example that we always use is Blake Griffin and his family, right? His granddad is so Blake Griffin's dad is a Levite, right? Dark skinned Levite, so-called Haitian, right? Blake Griffin himself looks somewhat, as they say in this world, mixed race, right? Whereas his son looks like a straight up Edomite, man. And there are several there's several accounts to that, right? But when you ask his son, oh, where are you from? If he just says, yo, my granddad is Levite, right? I'm a Levite. It's simple. None of this quarter that, yada 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 nonsense. So Genesis 41 and 50. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bare unto him. Right, so a heathen woman. Right, and Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for the Most High said, He hath made me forget all my toil, right? All my toil and all my father's house. And the second, and the name of the second called he Ephraim, for the Most High hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. Right, so those are 2 of the tribes, right? Born to, a heathen woman, man, right? This is Exodus 2 and 21 and 22. It says, and Moses was content to dwell with the man, right? And he gave Moses Zipporah, right, a Midianite woman, his daughter, and she bare him a son, right? And he called his name Gershom, for he said, I've been a stranger in a strange land. Now, Moses was on levels, right? We've got to remember, Moses was on levels. He was, the Most High was dealing with Moses, man, right? Moses, when he came down, man, he had to put that veil on in front of his face, right? Because he was shining. Okay, it's lucky to be a bit silly, but Moses was shining, man. He was shining, and when he was came off, like I said, had to put a veil on him. Now you're telling me the Most High wasn't like, yo, Moses, you're my guy, but yo, you gotta, like, what you doing? He dealing with these heathen women? Nah, there was nothing wrong with it, man. Once again, it's like don't you want more women? This is Nehemiah 13:26. Right, I'm getting this because you get them people. Yeah, but look, King Solomon, look what happened with him. No, it wasn't the fact that he was dealing with the heathen women that was the problem. Right, it was the fact that he started worshipping their gods, right, building temples unto their gods. Right, this is Nehemiah 13:26. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, send by these? Yet among many nations there was there no king like him, who was beloved of his power, right, of his God. and the Most High made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women caused to sin, which outlandish literally means just out of the land, right, outside the land. I believe it's similar to basically the word heathen, right? But outlandish just means out of the land. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, it does mean heathen, right? He's talking because this was his heathen white women that caused him, to go off, right? It wasn't being with them, right? It was, being seduced by their ways, right? Worshipping their gods and this, that, and the other. And you know what? When you do see Jake that be with, these women, from where from wherever, they really start doing like what their women do, man. Start eating like their women eat and stuff like that. And that's basically what, Nehemiah and I believe also Ezra were pissed off at, right? Because basically you'd have the Israelite children, right? That, and once again, you see this. You see this, yeah, we're not speaking the Hebrew now, but like Jay, because I know about Jay Percy, right, who, went out there to Japan, got himself a Japanese woman, right, and this, that, and the other. But you can imagine that Jay, his son is, going to grow up speaking Japanese, and he's not necessarily going to know his father's language, his father's, because his father's not from here, innit? Not from England, right? So that's basically what the whole controversy was about. Jake was basically getting all up into these heathen women to the point where they couldn't even speak Hebrew, some of them, right? The prophets at the time, they were pissed off, man. I was like, yo, what's this? Okay? So you can deal with heathen women, but they're just concubines. Okay? And then the next thing he was talking about was basically, about, the flower of the age, when you can start, dealing with a woman. Now, once again, we stress it. We've stressed it so many times. It's unreal, right? This is just what it was in the ancient world. This is just what it was in the ancient world, as apostles have said many a times. These people have just been in America and in the Western world too damn long, right? Up until I think this year, for instance, the age of consent in Japan was 13. So what you saying now? Right? That's a completely different world out there. Oh, they're gonna be the kind of individual, right, that will say, oh, you can't, do you also teach that you can have sex with prostitutes, right? And once again, culture, what's biblically, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but also culturally, you've been in America too damn long. There's a video going out, where basically you have these Japanese women being interviewed saying, what will you do if your husband cheats? She was like, look, man, they were, in fact, they were all like, as long as it's like a prostitute, I don't care. I may be a bit upset, but if he's just paying for it, I don't care, right? So it's just where you've grown up, man. Okay, this is 1 Corinthians 7:36. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin, right, if she pass the flower of her age and need so require, let him do what he will, he sinneth not, let them marry, right? When you read Exodus, right, it says that marriage is sex, right? It's Exodus 22:16, I believe, right, or 20:16. Exodus 20:16, 21:16, or 22:16, one of them, right? Sex is marriage, right? So it says she passed the flower of her age. Now it's Leviticus 15:24. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, when you read into this, talking about a woman being on a menstrual cycle, right? It says he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereon she lieth shall be let me read that again. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers, what did we just read? Flower of her age, right? And her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed wherein he lieth shall be unclean, right? And hey, I was when I was putting the lesson together, I looked up, clicked on this word here, flower, kind of made me laugh, right? It says overripe, plump, and ripe. Like you can just hear a Benjamin say, "Oh, she plump and ripe." And hey man, you be seeing these. You when they get to that age, when you see especially like an older man, right? You see the way they be looking at you, and you just have to look the other direction, because this is Babylon. You get caught looking, man. Once again, you be thrown under the jail, right? Right, and then the next thing is the R thing, as he said, the R thing, right? And once again, as we have said, right, this was just the law. This is, if this matter occurred, this is how you dealt with it, right? No one is saying, and in fact, the apostles have gone as far as say you do that, even you out the camp, man, right? At the end of the day, look, we are ambassadors of Yahweh Shai in this thing, right? How we carry ourselves is a reflection, right? Not of Yahweh Shai, right? Of the Archean and the brotherhood and everything, right? And we have to understand that we're fighting a spiritual battle, right? And Esau used anything and everything, right, to smear all the Archean, which is why, for instance, that individual that had the the weapons, right, in his videos, rightly got called out. It was like, look, man, yo, what are you doing? That's not what we stand for, right? But we understand, right, that he will be basically using these things, right, against us, okay? But this is Deuteronomy 22:28. And if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, right, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, right, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, right, so a punishment, if you will, right? It says, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her, he may not put her away all his days, right? And through the Spirit, I found some information a couple of weeks ago where basically this was what was practiced in Sicily, right, up until maybe, I think, basically in the mid 1900s, something like that. I forget exactly when they kind of stopped doing it, but this was practiced in Sicily, right, where basically if that happened to a woman, right, the custom was that she had to go and now marry that guy, right? And that's just the way it is, right? Now this is only if she was a virgin, right? And she wasn't betrothed, i.e., it wasn't adultery, right? And I'm just gonna end with these two, right? Because a lot of the talking points, basically the talking points of this world, because let's be real, some of these talking points in the eyes of this world, right, are tough, right? But that's the problem. That's in the eyes of this world, right? But what does Yahweh Shai say? He said, I've chosen you out of the world, right? So to us, these things, like, yeah, that's what it was. That's the law. Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, right? And when you first come in, you may be like, oh, so that's a hard saying, but after a while, right? Basically, it says this is Romans 12:2, and be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, right? Scripture says that we're renewed, roughly paraphrase, renewed day by day, right? So that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. And then last but not least, Ephesians 4:22, that you put off concerning the former conversation, right, of the former conversation, the old man, right, manner of life, conduct, behavior, right, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, right, and that you put on the new man, which after the Most High is created in righteousness and true holiness, right? It's the point that I wanted here is basically being renewed, right, in the spirit of your mind, right, being renewed, seeing this world differently, right, seeing that actually it's not the scriptures that are, that are touchy feely. It's this world that's touchy feely, right? And it's one of the things that we understand, and the Lord opens us up to, right, when we come into this truth. So as always, Lord, that was edifying. This has been you do not knowing the scriptures, right? Yeah, Lord, was edifying. Till next time we say Shalom.